The most recent news that has taken over the NASCAR world hasn't been the most pleasing, because NASCAR had bumped into yet another controversy. This time, it's not just the racers, but the fans. On Friday, April 19th, 2024, NASCAR shared with the media that the tower at Talladega Superspeedway needed to be taken down. But why exactly? In this video, we'll be bringing you along as to why the fans and racing community are furious concerning NASCAR's recent decisions. Let's get into it, but before we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's no surprise that the good old pylons, which fans have always enjoyed saying, are now being removed from various tracks one by one. This decision was made by NASCAR on May 25th, 2023, and initially, after that announcement, NASCAR didn't entirely leave the community happy because, for so many years, the towering pylons had been one of the most defining experiences of the whole race for the fans. The pylons meant so much to fans, but NASCAR wasn't done yet with their inconsiderate decisions. In a surprising move at the Talladega Superspeedway recently, NASCAR also decided to remove the iconic scoreboards, thereby leaving the fans to solely rely on their smartphones to track the scores of their favorite drivers. Feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? Well, this decision has just changed the entire landscape of NASCAR because the Talladega Superspeedway was just different. I mean, one known for its electrifying experience during races, its atmosphere provided a rich experience for the fans. And part of what defined these experiences was the pylons available to the audience. The sole purpose of these scoreboards in life was to make it easier for the fans to be able to view the racing scores as they were updated regularly without the hassle of missing the key moments in the race. However, the Talladega Superspeedway isn't the first to experience this, so why are the NASCAR community's fans furious this time? You see, like I said earlier, Talladega is different from lots of other racing tracks. It holds a strong place in the hearts of the fans, and it has struck a particularly sensitive chord with the fans. It has gone as far as racers like Justin Allgaier making comments to cite concerns, as well as Kevin Harrick, a former RCR driver, ridiculing NASCAR's policy. Kevin believes NASCAR's stance makes no sense. I mean, you don't want to hold a beer and a phone? Kevin mentioned this as he stood on the side of the fans while discussing the issue on Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. Now, NASCAR's decision to do so felt like a no-brainer, and fans were not hesitant to take to social media to voice their concerns. Having said that, these pylons meant so much that their removal reminded everyone of the days before a smartphone when you wouldn't need to pull out or look down on anything before you could see who was leading the pack. Now listen, here is how it unfolded. It began as an unofficial survey that was conducted on the camping grounds of Talladega, but soon after, the survey turned to nostalgia for the fans. In fact, a fan who had been attending the Talladega Superspeedway for over 20 years had to express his disappointment in the survey that was carried out. In his words, those pylons are a part of the race, he said. It's not the same without them. I don't want to be glued to my phone during the race, I want to watch the action. One could just imagine the pain coming from such lovers of the race, and here is the thing. As part of the tradition, the pylons were not just standing all tall alone. It was the sense of community it created amongst all of the fans, even the racers as well. The pylons were more than just scoreboards. So, despite NASCAR being aware of all this, how did this all start in the first place? You see, NASCAR's decision to remove these pylons was part of their broader strategy to try to modernize the sport and make the appeal of the races to a much younger, tech-savvy audience. In one sense, NASCAR felt as though the pylons were looking too old and archaic to attract a newer audience and growing the racing business. But unfortunately, NASCAR has now been met with resistance from longtime fans who feel that the sport is losing touch with its roots. With several hashtags like Bring Back the Pylons trending on social media, after the Talladega pylon was removed, other fans soon followed to raise traction and express their frustration, just as if their voice could be heard. I've been going to Talladega for years, and those pylons are part of the experience. This is a huge mistake by NASCAR, another fan expressed his dissatisfaction. So let me explain, in the view of the fans, NASCAR is trying so hard to be modern, and sometimes it's best if they keep things the way they are. But despite the backlash, NASCAR still stood its ground. You see, the organization cited that it needed to evolve with the times, irrespective of what the community may say. But think of it, If NASCAR is trying to make things better for the community and these decisions don't go well, why is the organization still going ahead? Well, there are more reasons for this because the organization justified that the growing use of mobile apps and digital scoreboards are reasons for the change, and sooner or later, fans would find them rather more comfortable than the earlier existing pylons. But is that the case? Apparently, that could be the reason because NASCAR also argued that these tools provide more detailed and up-to-the-minute information than the old pylons ever could. Meanwhile, it's not about technology for the fans, it's about tradition, and this representation should not just be replaced by a phone screen or a digital leaderboard. Now hear this. The issue is that NASCAR also claims that these pylons are so old, expensive to maintain, and difficult to get parts off for when they require some sort of repairs. But the fans aren't having it. NASCAR is, however, now left with the debate over the pylons and the broader tension within the sport. And now the organization feels it needs to evolve. But on the other hand, it also needs to balance the demands of its traditional fan base while trying to attract a younger variety of audience. However, the tension is not new because NASCAR is notorious for making changes that aren't called for. It became obvious and more pronounced in the last few years as the organization made significant changes to its format, schedule, and rules. In the grand scheme of things, the removal of the pylons is just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, it's just the latest flashpoint in this ongoing struggle between NASCAR's loyal fans and the organization itself. Interestingly, it doesn't stop there. It has gone as far as for some fans to just take to their social media to express their frustration, but this time to file petitions to bring the pylons back on the basis that the removal of the pylons has completely ruined their race day experience. One such petition was started by a group of the Talladega Superspeedway regulars, and as it would be, this petition has gained thousands of signatures. The pylons were a part of what made Talladega special. This statement was what the petition carried, and additionally, it also carried that without the pylons in the race, something important is lost. Fans have taken to social media to urge NASCAR to reconsider this decision. But would they? Well, NASCAR didn't exactly turn deaf ears to the fans and the community. You see, in response to the outcry, the officials in the organization acknowledged the concerns of the fans. But in their statement, it was made known that the decision is final. In a statement released by one of NASCAR's spokespersons, they made it known that they understand that change can be a difficult one, but they strongly believe that it is the right move for the future of the sport. NASCAR concluded this by stating that they are confident that fans will come to appreciate the new ways to follow the race, and what this announcement means is that the delicate balance of innovation over tradition is much more important. The bottom line is that NASCAR fans now made it difficult for both the fans and the drivers, and the racers and fans lashing their concerns may not stop anytime soon. However, considering NASCAR's reasons for economic cost, do you think the organization would reverse their decisions? Would NASCAR bring the pylons back? Well, there's only one way to find out. Now, NASCAR has been left with two options, which are to stay by their decision or succumb to the undying pressure of the fans. As always, NASCAR always tries to evolve, but one thing is certain. Irrespective of what NASCAR comes up with, the community is what makes NASCAR exist, and the voices of the fans either at Talladega, any other camping ground, or even on social media will continue to play a crucial role in shaping the future of NASCAR. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring news like this, click the bell icon to be alerted each time we release a new video, and leave your opinions on NASCAR's recent announcement in the comments area. Until next time, goodbye.